I have to be honest with you that I learned this language within 6 months, but there is a mystery of long terrible story that my journey started from 3 years back. Yes, it is true. That's why I firmly believe that learning English language is really very stupid. I know it sounds harsh, but let me explain it. Whenever I see somebody speaking this language flawlessly, I start thinking that I have to also speak like that. And when I start to learn this language, then I knew that it's not that easy what I was thinking to see other person. It is so difficult. I became frustrated and hopeless totally. If you also feel like that, then I will say don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. The problem is in this language. This language is difficult, That's why the countless of people in the entire world, they are craving to learn this language. Not only we Indian. Because this language is confusing, tricky if it is your second language. But I want to say one more thing. This language has power to change you and your personality. Well, in today's video, I am going to talk about what are the things that make difficult to learn this language. And I have also one good news for you. So be with me till the end of the video. At first, I'll introduce you about LAD, Language Acquisition Device. So this is a kind of hypothetical tool in the brain that help us to learn a language. So there is a famous linguistic named Chomsky who has proposed this concept. According to him, humans child or kids, they actually born in innate capability to learn a language. Therefore, you can observe kids learn a language very faster. They rapidly learn a language. That is also, and even he also mentioned that this device is more active up to 5 years. So if you will switch to another country with one kid, you will find that the kids will learn more faster the language than you. It is also one of reason that we found to learn a language very difficult. So again, it's not your fault. Can you see that? It's your brain that is processing like that we found it difficult to learn because of our age. As you know, our brain has divided into two parts, that is left brain and right brain. So basically that in the right brain there are creativity and all the musics whatever we learn, so it comes in right brain. And in the left brain it is all about reasoning, logical thinking and linguistic. Language also comes in our left brain side. In my case, I will say that my right brain is more active. So what about you? You actually can recognize that what's your capacity, which brain is more active with you. Because if you have creative ideas more and more, if you always get creative ideas and your tendency is towards music, dancing, these all things, then your right brain is more active. But if your tendency is towards academic studies, solving maths, complex questions, then your left brain is more active. Left brain is all about science. Okay, so as we grown up, our LAD, language acquisition device, is being decreased in terms of active. So that's why we found it difficult to learn this language. So when it comes to learn English language as an Indian, at first we come across complex grammar rule. Yes, if we want to learn this language, then at first everybody will suggest you learn grammar properly, that we have already done from since our childhood. So that's not actually right way. Just because of that all complex grammar rule made this language so difficult to learn. If you are also fond of learning this language, you probably learned so many grammar rules. I have done actually. I have used grammar books and I actually studied for 2 to 3 years, but no result. There were no result. So this is one thing that makes very difficult to learn this language. Why to grammar rules? There is no need of any grammar rules. I'll say there is need, but you just need basic grammar rules so that you can make and frame sentences in the past form, future form, and present form. That's enough. I don't think like you need to know that much profound grammar rules. No, if you will immerse yourself to complex grammar, then you will be sink at that. You will be unable to use this language until and unless you will not use. In another country they are also facing the same problem, like they have one native language in their own country, okay, but they also want to learn this language, but they learned easily. Why? Because they are not learning any kind of grammar as we Indian are doing. So we don't have to do that. They found it very easy to learn this language because they don't learn any complex grammar. So that's the difference. Otherwise every country people want to learn this language and they learned this language as a second language. Okay, so we made this kind of perplexed rules and regulation that we have to first acquire, first learn that, then we have to go for speaking. No, it's totally wrong. And now the another difficulty that comes in our environment, that is no place to use. We don't have that place where we can use this language. This is also one of difficulties that make this language challenging to learn. In my case, I was totally not having the place where I even can use single sentence to somebody. No, there were not any place. At my school, totally Hindi. After school, at college, totally Hindi. Everywhere. Like I didn't get even a single, I could say minute to use this language. And even our surroundings, in our family, if we by chance use this language, everybody will stare you that kahan ka Angrez aa gaye. That's why it's become so hard to use, to get that place where we can use this language casually. So that's why I will say, I know it is true that there is no place to use this language, but it is not in our hand that we could change our environment. No, we can't change our environment, but we can do one thing, that is we have to put effort to look for that kind of person who also want to learn this language or want to practice to somebody. So we have to connect to that kind of person for making this kind of place where I could use this language casually. For that I will say, make friends to a stranger, because once you will make them friends, then you will start speaking and using this language casually. Then you will ultimately acquire this language. Okay, so I'm getting something crazy in my mind, so I would like to mention you. I think we should have to make GF or BF who also want to learn this language, so that we can use this language to them in a casual way. So it was crazy. Don't take it mind, okay? Next, one more difficulty is that is a very huge, I would say, that is shyness. We have this shyness to get humiliated and to be mocked by someone. So, we have this fear. If we will start to use this language, then we can make mistake and our friends and maybe whoever surrounding us, they will start mocking. They will start make fun of my English. So we have this shyness. That's why we are also not using this language. Even like you can casually talk to somebody, not using that much advanced vocabulary, but still you are not using because of your shyness, because of you feel not to make fun of your language, of your English. It is a huge problem, I could say. Even it is in me. Even these days also I feel this, because if I am in my room but the voice is going outside, I still feel weird and terrible if there were somebody outside and they were hearing my voice. So I feel actually a bit shy. After going to outside, they will say what you were doing. So I feel still shy. So that's the thing that we have to kill. We have to kill our shyness. We have to be shameless. Doesn't matter, yaar, how much mistakes we are making. It doesn't matter. We just have to speak. We just have to show our overconfidence that I know this language and I have to use. So don't be worried about mocking. Don't be worried about to make fun of your English. No, you don't have to be worried until and unless you will not be worryless about these all things. You can't learn this language. So you have to change. Okay. And one more problem that I felt, and I think everybody felt, that is in English there are excess of vocabulary. Their pronunciation doesn't match to spelling. That is also one of problem that we fumble, that we feel that the pronunciation I am using, this might be wrong, because there are different pronunciation. Yeah, it doesn't match. The spelling will be totally different and the pronunciation will be totally different. So this is why we found it so difficult. We have to know that, suppose we know that vocabulary, okay, but we don't know the pronunciation exact correct way. So that's the problem. That's why we suffer to get correct pronunciation. Even if we know English, even if we can speak to somebody, but we might be lacking in pronunciation, because we all, like in India, the tone and accent is totally different. In other country, like if we will see to native speaker, their pronunciation accent is totally different. So sometimes we become so confused, like what the correct pronunciation of this exact word. I could say this is the most one problem that always make us frustrated. Even in my case, I was like especially learning the pronunciation. How could I pronounce this word? Suppose there is a word photography, okay, so it is not photography, it is photography. So this is the thing, I used to learn actually the pronunciation especially. So that's why there are a lot of things to learn this language. Even you have to work on like building vocabulary, pronunciation, correct pronunciation, along with correct way of speaking. Suppose we have done, we can speak this language, we can express our thought, but if we are lacking in pronunciation, then we need more effort to work on in our pronunciation. As I am also lacking in pronunciation, I could say, but I don't care about it. So I don't think that you should need to focus that much in your pronunciation. Don't focus now. If you are a beginner, just focus to learn, just focus to speak and use the correct words in a correct specific situation. That's it. And once you will reach at intermediate level or maybe lower advanced level, then start work in pronunciation. Okay, so first of all you have to build your foundation, then you have to work on extra things. So this pronunciation, accent, these are extra, these are extra refinement that you want in your language. Okay, that's it. So these are the all things that makes very difficult, confusing to learn English language. Once you have done with all these things, once you have overcome this all thing, you will ultimately learn this language. Of course you will learn this language. So that was all that I wanted to share with you in this video. These all were my real experience that I shared with you. Okay, so now it's time to give you good news that I want to give you, that what, you have some uniqueness that you made for, which is waiting for you. That's why you have to keep exploring different things, so that you will definitely find out what's your uniqueness. Okay, now I will catch you in another video. Till then, you have to take care of yourself. So don't forget to shoot your negative thoughts and live your life like you are the king. Okay, bye.